This week on Country Music Junkies, I'm pleased to be speaking to Rosemary from Rosemary and the Sweet Sound Revival. How are things going?
Great, thank you. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Well, we're pumped to be chatting with you. You've got a new album out. It's a country bluegrass album called Plum Coulee My Home. 13 songs. Let's talk about what fans can expect from that album.
Oh my word. Well, it's my first solo bluegrass album, and I am singing. I've written all the songs with some Grammy Award winners and have some special guests from Nashville on it, and it has a lot of like three-part harmony. It is stuff you can sing along to. It's kind of a mix of pop, country, and bluegrass.
Amazing.
But it has, I'm a violinist first, and so, but I'm classically trained, so it has a lot of like more classical playing in it. It's not, it brings what I do best into bluegrass, so it's kind of a mix of all three of those.
That is super cool. Now, 13 songs. Talk to us a little bit about some of the stories that you're telling within the lyrics of the songs.
Oh my word! So the actual radio single that's out right now is called "Barefoot and Bling," and that's actually kind of a diary of my life so far. I grew up on a century farm outside of Plum Coulee, Manitoba, and you know, I was once playing a show back home, and my pianist was with me, and he saw me. I was barefoot. I was driving a pickup truck, and I was in a blinged out dress, and he's like, "Now I get you. You're like this farm girl, but that tours all over the world." And so it's about just having the farm girl values and roots in my heart, but yet having a kind of crazy performance life. I've played at Carnegie Hall 4 times, and I was the first violinist to play at the Sistine Chapel at the Vatican. And so I've had amazing experiences, but yet I wanted to pay tribute to my home in this album. And so it's a lot of the stories of my life so far.
That sounds really cool. Now, you jumped a bit ahead of me because I wanted to talk about your backstory, and you've kind of teased a bunch of stuff. So coming from a violin background and touring the world playing, you mentioned Carnegie Hall and the Sistine Chapel at the Vatican. What kind of transitioned you into putting out this independent album where you're doing so much more than just playing the violin?
You know, it actually happened about a year and a bit ago. I was having lunch with my boyfriend after church one Sunday, and I just put out this video of me playing in my dad's wheat field on our farm, and I was playing a bluegrass tune, and people started sharing it like crazy, and he sat me down, he's like, "I think you need to do a solo album, be like the Alison Krauss of Canada." He's like, "That's where your fans are at, and it's like, you're a country girl, you grew up with gospel," and so it's kind of bringing me back to what I all started with, you know, and so it just resonated with me, and I thought, why not? I love to sing, I play the fiddle, and I can write, and I wanted to put all three of those things together, and so this album was born from that, actually.
Now, Rosemary, you talked to us about Barefoot and Bling, the first single off of that album, but is there any song off the album that really kind of hits home for you or really kind of has a special place in your heart? Yeah, you know what? I actually play on a violin from 1714 that was bought by a very generous patron. And it's a very special cut violin. It actually has its own Instagram. It's named Sparkle the Violin, and traveled all over the world with me. And you know, I also have this motto called "Rosemary plays it forward." I hashtag everything that, and I've brought this violin all over the world. I recently played at the Coliseum and videotaped that, and almost got arrested being at the Coliseum. And we've had quite the adventures. But you know, I recently was playing a show in Santa Barbara in April, and for the Museum of Contemporary Art. And I came out of the gig at about midnight. My friend was carrying my violin because I had all my gear in my hands. And I went to get my suitcase from my hotel room, and my friend followed me and came back out. And I noticed my wireless box was sitting on the ground at the hotel room. It was an outside-facing room. And I go, "That's weird. Why isn't wireless there?" He goes, "Oh, I put it there." He goes, "But where's your violin?" I said, "What do you mean, where's my violin?" He says, "It was right there." And I actually could not believe the words. And I went to my friend. I said, "Have you seen my violin? Have you seen my violin?" Because it's a part of me. I had it for 13 years. It actually played in King Louis XIV's orchestra. Wow.
And it's an heirloom, and it's so valuable, but not only monetarily. You know, it's a part of me.
Yeah, of course.
And so we called the cops, went through dumpsters, went to gas stations, went to liquor stores. I had a show at 7 a.m. in South Dakota.
Oh, goodness.
And I didn't know what to do. I called my mom, who lives in Manitoba, and she had arranged to take my old violin and drive it 7 hours to go to
bring me a violin to play on for my gig. And, you know, it was 4 a.m., didn't know what to do, was feeling completely hopeless. I had basically a big-time breakdown, and sat in the parking lot with my friends in their car and said, I don't know what to do. And this black SUV rolls up next to us. And guy opens his window and he says, are you guys looking for a violin? And said, yeah, actually we are. Do you have it? And he says, no. But he says, I heard about it at the gas station. And he says, my family's musicians, and I know how hard this must be. And my friend says to him, he says, can we pray about the violin? He said, of course. So here we are praying about this violin in this parking lot. And the guy goes after this. He says, you know what? I work in the prison ministries in Santa Barbara. I'm going to put the word on the street. I'm going to put it on the radio. I'm going to put it on the TV. And I'm going to put a $2,000 cash reward for your violin.
Wow.
So that you can leave with somewhat of a peace of mind. And I actually couldn't believe it. And so I got on my first airplane. I was heading to Seattle. And I was just about to leave Seattle. And I get a text message from the hotel manager. And she says, we found your violin. And she said, a guy in a black hoodie, disheveled looking, came into the hotel, was not staying at the hotel, walked in, placed my violin in its sparkly violin case, placed it on the front desk and said, I hear you've been looking for this, and walked out the front door. Now, to me, that's a total miracle. And I have a song on the album called Have a Little Faith. And I just think it was so important to have faith to see it through. And, you know, I saw a miracle of that violin. And, you know, I went after that to write a song in Nashville with the Grammy winner Carl Jackson. He won for Best Bluegrass and Country Album. And I said to him, I want to save this story for you, Carl. And we wrote a song on the album called Priceless. And it's the whole journey of the violin, from being from a farm in Manitoba to the Hall of Carnegie and playing hymns in the Sistine Chapel. And we wrote a song to capture all the beautiful things about the violin and the journey we've been on so far. And I'm just so thankful that it's still in my arms.
Wow, that is an incredible story. I literally am sitting here with goosebumps. That is so great. I'm so glad that it was returned, and it's so nice that you've got something to kind of commemorate that story.
Yeah, and if people want to follow the journey of me and my violin, like, my goal with music is to touch people, inspire people, and make people smile through music. You know, I was stuck stranded in the Calgary airport over Christmas, and I played Christmas carols for people. I was in a line for a Winona Judd concert, and it was not moving, so I played for people there, and I hashtag everything Rosemary Plays It Forward. So if people want to follow along, just find that hashtag, and you'll find all my social media as well.
That is super cool. Again, fans, be sure to check out Rosemary and the Sweet Sound Revival, Plum Coulee, My Home, new album, 13 songs. First single, as you mentioned, Barefoot and Bling. Fans, be sure to check that out. Now, if fans want to get a copy of this album, where's the best place for them to do that?
Yeah, they can do it on my website at rosemarysiemens.com. I have Maple Music there, and iTunes. It's on iTunes, and there's an awesome music video of the single Barefoot and Bling on my YouTube channel, and it actually features my home of Plum Coulee, and it's just a beautiful music video that was done.
Excellent. We'll be sure to include links to both your website and also a link to that video as well with the posting of this interview. Now, if fans want to connect with you on social media, where can they do that?
Yeah, it's all Rosemary Siemens, ROSEMARYSIEMENS, and all my socials are at that. And yeah.
Perfect. That makes it easy. So again, fans, be sure to check out Plum Coulee, My Home, Rosemary and the Sweet Sound Revival. Rosemary, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for chatting with us.